I'm now calling on Mr. Ramkalawon.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B233.
Yes, Madam Speaker. Did you say 234? 233.
PMQT,
Sorry,
Prime
yeah.
Minister.
I'm informed by the Director General of the Mauritius Broadcasting Corporation that the broadcast and sub-licensing rights for the FIFA World Cup of 2026 across the African region, including sub-Saharan Africa, are held by New World Television SA, which is a company based in Togo. The two main broadcasting rights which are most commonly commercialized to broadcasters are free-to-air broadcasting rights and pay TV broadcasting rights. The free-to-air broadcasting rights for the FIFA World Cup of 2026 are meant only for public broadcasters, whereby the public can access the channels without paying any subscription fee. The pay TV broadcasting rights are meant for subscription television operators only. On the 2nd of December 2025, an agreement was signed between the Mauritius Broadcasting Corporation and the New World Television SA, which, as I said, is a company based in Togo, in respect of the FIFA World Cup of 2026. Under this agreement, the Mauritius Broadcasting Corporation has secured rights to broadcast 34 free-to-air matches out of the 104 matches scheduled for the tournament, as included in the package allocated to sub-Saharan Africa. This package comprises the opening ceremony, the closing ceremony, some other matches, and the final. These matches will be broadcast on MBC 11 Sports Channel. The full FIFA World Cup 2026 package will be made available on the MBC Play app. This is a digital streaming platform developed to deliver television and multimedia content directly to viewers over the internet upon a payment of a subscription fee of 300 rupees. I wish to point out that for the FIFA World Cup of 2022, the MBC Play app was available on smartphones only. However, this year, the current MBC Play app is being upgraded and will be compatible with on both smart TVs and smartphones.
Smart TVs and phones. Okay, Mr. Ramkalawon. Okay, Mr. Beechook. Yes.
Yes, Madam. B234.
Madam Speaker, with regard to Part A of the question, I'm informed by the Bank of Mauritius that in accordance with the Banking Act 2004, banks have up to 3 months from the end of the financial year to submit their audited accounts, and I'm further informed that the latest available audited accounts of Silverbank Limited are for the financial year ending 31st of December 2021. I'm tabling a copy of the audited accounts. Madam Speaker, Silverbank has not submitted its audited accounts to the Bank of Mauritius for the financial years 2022 and 2023. In fact, Silverbank was unable to appoint any external auditor. The reason being that the auditors were unwilling to conduct the assignment for Silverbank in the light of the previous serious adverse information regarding Pratik Gupta in the Trafigura case, whereby freezing orders were issued both on Pratik Gupta and his wife, Ginny Gupta, who is the main ultimate beneficial owner of the bank. The House will recall, Madam Speaker, that it was at its meeting held on the 11th of June 2021 that the board of the Bank of Mauritius approved the acquisition of the shares of Banyan Tree Bank by the shareholders of Silverbank. The board of the directors of the Bank of Mauritius were then chaired by the then former governor of the bank, that is Mr. Havesh Kumar Sigulam. The Banking Act of 2004 provides for no single shareholder should hold more than 10% of the shares in a bank, except with the prior approval of the Bank of Mauritius. Given that the Banyan Tree Bank was under conservatorship, the approval of a 75% shareholding to a single shareholder, 75%, in this case was Ginny Gupta, with, may I inform the House, had no banking experience at all. But this was granted by the board. This was nothing short, 75%. to somebody who has no experience in banking. This is nothing short, Madam Speaker, of a scandalous and very suspicious transaction, while also endangering the existing and future depositors. When we look at the pattern of events, there was clearly an axis of evil which existed from the very inception of Silverbank in our jurisdiction. The House would not be surprised to know that one of the close associates of Mr. Gupta, one Mr. Prasad Rao Bopama, was even picked up from the tarmac at SSR International Airport with a total VIP treatment, red carpet treatment, upon the instructions of the former Minister of Finance. Just like this. Du jamais vu dans les annales de notre pays. This is how the previous MSM regime was operating, mafia style. I hope people remember all this when the time of election comes, which will not be now, of course. Madam Speaker, in February 2024, Silverbank was placed under conservatorship by the Bank of Mauritius, just like its predecessor, the Banyan Tree Bank. At that time, the actions taken by the Bank of Mauritius included the issue of several cautionary letters requiring for additional capital and the imposition of restrictions on the granting of loans. Silverbank completely ignored those Bank of Mauritius instructions. Once Silverbank was placed in conservatorship, several potential investors expressed an interest to acquire. However, only one prospective investor submitted an application in May of 2024 to acquire significant interest in Silverbank. The investor's business plan was rejected in December 2024 because the proposed equity injection was inadequate. In April 2025, a second offer for the acquisition was made by a local investment vehicle set up in Mauritius. The Bank of Mauritius has been engaging with the prospective applicant since then, including on the requisite information for the completion of the application. In the interest of depositors and creditors, the Bank of Mauritius granted several extensions to each successive deadline until in December 2025, in January and February 2026, to allow the applicant to complete his application. He was asking for extra time all the time, that he be given more time. As at the 30th of March 2026, the Bank of Mauritius had not received a complete application. It is noteworthy that documents relating to proof and source of funds had not been submitted at that date. The Board of Bank of Mauritius met on the 30th of March 2026 to discuss the way forward on Silverbank. Based on all the available facts and information, and taking into account the financial situation at Silverbank, the Board decided to terminate the conservatorship of Silverbank and appoint a receiver. Another shocking element of the Silverbank saga, Madam Speaker, was the confession made by one internal auditor of Silverbank that he uncovered loans of about 7.7 billion rupees, which were granted to companies related to no other than Pratik Gupta. Furthermore, this auditor stated 18 million rupees were transferred to Pratik Gupta or to entities belonging to him from Silverbank. They allowed the transfer. This is a classic case, Madam Speaker, of institutional conspiracy of the highest order, with both internal and external connivances to defraud depositors' money. Needless to say that the internal auditor, because it was MSM government, needless to say, he drew the attention, he was suspended. He was the guilty party to have drawn the attention of the bank. So he was suspended when in fact his courage should have been commended. No doubt we will see more things like this as the investigation unfolds. Madam Speaker, as regard to Part B of the question, I'm informed that public bodies and institutions had invested a total amount of 3.55 billion rupees in Silverbank. Yes, I'm going to say that. As of February 2026, the remaining deposits held by public bodies and institutions at the Silverbank amounted to around 907 million rupees. And they are as follows: 523 million by the COVID-19 projects development, 523. 158 million by the National Insurance Company Limited and 132 million by the NIC General Insurance Company Limited, both subsidiaries of the National Property Fund Limited. 58 million by the Municipal Council of QPIP and 36 million by the Sugar Insurance Fund Board. Madam Speaker, as I already stated in this August Assembly, the deposits made by these public bodies and the institutions were purposely done to create a misleading enhancement of Silverbank's balance sheet. Purposely done. This is the significant investment made in a bank with no proven track record. No proven track record speaks for itself that the decision had been driven by intervention from the highest authorities, and we know, in fact, from the former Minister of Finance and the former Financial Secretary. It is ironic to recall, Madam Speaker, that these same authorities had issued a circular way back in 2019 instructing government-related entities to place their surplus cash in treasury certificates, which carry far lower risk. You can guess, Madam Speaker, why the former Minister of Finance revised that decision and ensured that these public bodies and institutions place their money with a bank with no proven track record and hence putting their investments at risk. This also, when you think this guy was given VIP treatment at the airport. As for part B of the question, B2 of the question, I'm informed by the Bank of Mauritius that in January 2025, only after a change of government, the conservator made a statement to the police with regard to what appeared to be a conspiracy to defraud Silverbank in favor of Mrs. Ginny Gupta or companies beneficially owned or related to her or to Mr. Pratik Gupta. Subsequent to this statement, the Commissioner of Police referred the matter to the Financial Crimes Commission. 2 suspects have been arrested for the offense of conspiracy to commit money laundering in breach of Section 4 of the Financial Intelligence and Anti-Money Laundering Act of 2002. Interpol has also been requested to place Mr. Gupta on red notice in relation to the investigation in Mauritius. Further actions by the FCC include a disclosure order made on 19 parties who applied and obtained in relation to material financial reports which has been forensically analyzed and which has shown that a total sum of 7.9 billion rupees has been siphoned and transferred to several entities in multiple jurisdictions linked again to Mr. Gupta. 39 loan files secured from Silverbank following search warrants issued under Section 64 of the FCC Act of 2023. 43 witness statements recorded, 11 defense statements from suspects, 2 search warrants under Section 60 issued on premises of suspects, I prefer not to mention the names, who were later arrested for the offense of conspiracy to commit money laundering in breach of Section 4 of FIMLA 2002. Informal cooperation for funds which have already been traced and transferred to foreign jurisdictions and to locate other foreign suspects who have already left Mauritius. An attachment order of $53,000 currently in force up to March 2027 on entities linked to Pratik Gupta. In 8 mutual legal assistance applications are in process with Seychelles, the UK, Malaysia, Singapore, South Africa, British Virgin Islands, USA, and UAE. Concerning part C of the question, I'm informed by the Bank of Mauritius that the conservator submitted his report on a regular basis. The latest report was submitted in March of 2026. However, as per the Bank of Mauritius Act and the Data Protection Act, these reports cannot be made public until the investigation maybe is over. I'm informed by the Bank of Mauritius that the conservator, Mr. Arvind Gokul, was maintained as conservator as he was already in discussion with a potential buyer of Silverbank. The bank felt replacing him midway in the process would have set the process backwards and caused further delays with additional financial implications with the coming of a new conservator. I'm also informed, Madam Speaker, by the Bank of Mauritius that the first report of the conservator submitted in March 2024 estimated that non-performing loans amounted to 8.1 billion rupees out of a total loan portfolio of 8.3 billion. 8.3 billion was given, 8.1 dubious. It is unthinkable that such a high level of toxicity of a loan portfolio could have been tolerated by both the Silverback and the Central Bank, who turned a blind eye to this monumentous mismanagement, if not defrauding people. As at date, only a sheer amount of 209 million rupees have been recovered since the placement of Silverbank under the conservatorship. Madam Speaker, these figures point not only to a clear pattern of gross management, of deliberate fraud, of deliberately misleading the public, the Mauritian public, raising concerns to the control mechanism that governed the operations of Silverback and the Bank of Mauritius at the time. We have, without any reservation, condemned the conduct of the bank in the past. It is yet another catastrophic legacy of the previous government, and we now have to deal with it. Today, allow me to reassert our determination and to state unequivocally and forcefully that we will not allow our reputation as a well-regulated international financial sector to be the least tarnished. Madam Speaker, it is precisely for this reason that we are reinforcing our legislative framework through the introduction of the AML CFT CPF bill, which is being discussed at the moment, to further strengthen the fight against money laundering.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Yes, Mr. Beechook.
I thank the Honourable Minister for his reply. Prime Minister, sorry. Madam Speaker, this financial disaster wouldn't have been possible without the egregious violation and collapse of the regulatory framework. Therefore, I would ask the Honourable Prime Minister whether he will initiate a full-fledged commission of inquiry so that the public gets to know the in and outs of this mega financial crime, and also the culprits be dragged to court. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, there is no commission of inquiry now. It's public inquiries. But this is why we bring drastic change in the organization of the police and the FCC. This new bill that will come to the House, we will have then people who know how to audit trails. We don't have the ability at the moment. This is why they're getting away with it. We will put in place people who know how to do these works, and we will drag, to use your word, we'll drag each and every one of them to court.
Yes, Mr. Duval.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Honourable Prime Minister mentioned only 209 million
Question.
recovered. Can I know from the Honourable Prime Minister how much the conservatorship cost?
In fact, the result, only 209 million has been recouped. Yeah, only that so far. I'm sorry?
No, don't speak for
The fees. The fees.
Mr.
I expected
Duval.
this question to come from somebody. The fees of the same person who they kept, the Bank of Mauritius decided to keep him, reduce his fees by half. I can give you the total amount later.
Members should not speak from a sitting position. We can't even hear. I can't hear very well. Also, no more statements before questions. Let me say, it's so easy to use the words who, when, how, whether. Then you put whatever you want. Then it's a question. Leçon de grammaire.
Thank you, Madam. We can see here a very good example of deux poids, deux mesures when we compare the case of the Grammar Bank and the Silver Bank. So, why were the previous government so prompt in the case of the Grammar Bank and so slack when it comes to the Silver Bank? Thank you.
Very good question. Bremer Bank, they cooked up a story of a Ponzi scheme, and then much later, after everything was done, after the Prime Minister Minister Badin, all these people close to them, took their money from the bank. Then they closed the bank. The public, never mind the public. They can lose the money, but they who already have a lot of money won't lose their money. It was deux poids, deux mesures. This was done on purpose. And we are going to sit on this again.
Okay, yes, Mr. Beechook, your last.
I'm still choosing my word, whether, how, when.
Yes,
So,
please, please.
How far,
Very good. Very good.
may I ask the Honourable Prime Minister, what quantum of the depositors' money can we expect to recover and give back to them in this particular
That's a
scandal?
very,
It's a very difficult question.
yes, tall
to
order
answer
for him.
because I can't
For the
say.
moment.
They have stolen the money, wherever they placed them, I don't know. So we're going to have to do the audit trail to know.
Thank you so much. Mr. Beejan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B235.
Madam Speaker, Regulation 83.3 of the Road Traffic Construction and Use of Vehicles, Regulations 2010, provides that no person shall modify the exhaust pipe of a motor vehicle likely to cause excessive or unusual noise or to alter the silencer, causing greater noise. I'm informed by the Commissioner of Police that Constituency No. 6, that is Grand Bay Poudre is covered by 5 police stations. Since the 1st of March 2026 to the 5th of April 2026, 16 contraventions relating to alterations of silencers to motorcycles exhaust have been issued as follows: 6 cases by the Goodlands Police Station, 3 cases by the Poudre Police Station, 3 cases by the Plaine de Papaye Police Station, 3 cases by the Grand Gobe Police Station, and 1 case by the Grand Bay Police Station. With a view, Madam Speaker, to strengthening deterrence and curbing down noise pollution from modified exhaust systems, the 4th schedule of the Road Traffic Act has been amended in 2025 to increase the fines related to modified exhaust systems by motor vehicles under Regulation 83.3. It was 2,000 rupees, it is now 10,000 rupees.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, one question.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. Whether, given that deterrence of modified motorcycle exhaust offences and no wearing of helmet while riding motorcycle requires sustained enforcement capacity during both daytime and nighttime hours, will the Honourable Prime Minister consider directing the Commissioner of Police to allocate additional police officers to each police station so that these police officers can conduct regular monitoring, respond quickly to public complaint, and maintain a visible deterrent presence with adequate equipment? Thank you.
Yes, Prime Minister.
We will, but there's an exercise of recruiting more police officers all the time.
Next time you come straight to the question, please. Yes, Mr. Rukni.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Will the Prime Minister advise if he's satisfied with the work or the enforcement work being done by the police in respect of the motorcycle activities as mentioned by Honourable Beejan?
One can never be totally satisfied, but we deal with what we have.
Okay, next question. Mr. Duval.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed that on the 3rd of April 2026, there have been 31 resignations following the resignation of Honourable Paul Raymond Bérenger as Deputy Prime Minister. In regards to Part A of the question, I'm informed that there has not been any resignation from our overseas missions. Regard to Part B of the question, there have been 18 resignations in parastatal bodies. These resignations are on 23rd of March, I'll give the names, Mr. Ashwin Naidu as member of the Mauritius Film Development Corporation. Second, Mr. Keshwar Kumar Jaman as legal advisor for the Sugar Industry Labour Welfare Fund. Mr. Shad Chelapamal as chairperson of the National Youth Council. Mr. Mona Garen Tripathi as board member of the Mauritius Institute of Education. That was on the 23rd of March 2026. On the 24th of March, Ms. Daniela Bastien as part-time chairperson of the Outer Islands Development Corporation. Mr. Lionel Jonathan Lajoie, as member of the Conservatoire National de Musique de François Mitterrand Trust Fund, Mr. Iqbal Kalkatia as chairperson of the Mauritius Sports Council, Dr. Kailash Subha as member of the Mauritius Institute of Education. On the 25th of March 2026, Mr. Kritanan Atma as member of the Mauritius Marathi Cultural Center Trust, Ms. Gabriela Batu as member of the National Heritage Fund, Mrs. Marie-Corina Catherine Kreis as chairperson of National Adoption Council, Mrs. Brigitte Roussetti as independent member of the National Women's Council. Now, on the 30th of March 2026, 3 persons have resigned from 4 parastatal bodies, namely Mr. Navaden Mutusamy as chairperson of the Sugar Industry Labour Welfare Fund and board member of the National Children's Council, Mrs. Nandini Minakshi Miniadi as member of the National Women's Sports Commission, and Ms. Zara Noah Lennon as member of the National Women's Sports Commission. Madam Speaker, there have been 2 further resignations on the 1st and 2nd of April, namely Mrs. Bibi Shira Banu Golfi Noor Mohamed as independent member of the National Women's Council, and Mr. George David Grenade as member of the Trust Fund for Excellence in Sports. Madam Speaker, as regard to part C of the questions, there have been 6 resignations in advisory position in ministries, namely Ambassador Vijay Singh Makan as Special Advisor on Diplomatic and International Trade to the former Deputy Prime Minister on the 20th of March 2026, Mr. Kishore Kumar Pertab as Senior Advisor on Policy and Strategic Matters to the former Deputy Prime Minister on 20th of March 2026, Ms. Daniela Bastia as Senior Advisor on Communication and Strategic Matters to the former Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Nabil Mulna as Advisor to the Attorney General, Mr. Shafiq Ahmad as Senior Advisor to the former Deputy Prime Minister on the 23rd of March, Mr. Isham Ali Ibrahim as Senior Advisor on Environmental, Solid Waste Management and Climate Change Matters to the Minister of Environment, Solid Waste Management and Climate Change on the 23rd. It's a long list, yeah. As regards part D of the question, 3 resignations have occurred in state-owned enterprises, namely Mr. Med Duba as board member of the State Informatics Limited on the 23rd of March 2026, Mr. Ganesha Singarabelu as Director, State Investment Corporation on the 24th of March 2026, Mr. Kritanan Atma as Chairperson of the Mauritius Housing Company Limited on the 25th of March 2026. As regards to part E of the question, 4 resignations have occurred in state institutions, namely Mr. Kishore Pertab as Director of Economic Development Board on the 23rd of March 2026, Mr. Vishanaden Singarabelu as Co-opted Council Member of the National Productivity and Competitiveness Council on the 24th of March 2026, Mr. Gérard Michel Olivier as member of the Sports Arbitration Tribunal on the 24th of March 2026, and Mr. Louis Giovanni Bid Catherine as member of the Price Observatory Committee, whose letter was received on the 30th of March of this year.
Yes, yes.
The Prime Minister forgot to add the name of Mr. José Anasano, who resigned on the 24th of March as well, and who was present in Brazil.
That is not a question.
The question is, Madam Speaker.
You are forever angry because I'm not stopping others.
No, Madam Speaker.
I have stopped many people today. Don't make statements.
Yes. The question is, Madam Speaker, there are key people. Is the Prime Minister agreeable that he should, if he hasn't done so, secure the allegiance of key people who are still in post and that were close to the former Deputy Prime Minister? I will not give names. You will know it better than I. But have these persons now sworn allegiance to government, to yourself, or are they still
I don't think there's a need to
faithful
answer that.
to the former? There is. Key people in key institutions.
Do
you want to
but I know
answer
what
that?
he's trying to say.
So they have.
The question in its...
Have they sworn allegiance
Don't speak. I'm not sure we are still in the chambers today. Somebody is trying to speak. Yes, Mr. Beechook.
Speaker, unless I missed it, has Ambassador Perrier from Mozambique resigned?
I
or
didn't
is
hear
she
that. No,
still in
Mr.
post?
Beechook, I can tell you, I remember, nobody from abroad resigned.
Yeah, nobody,
But
including
you
her.
must listen to the reply. Is that right? Nobody from abroad resigned, right? Okay, where were we? Mr. Duval, you finished with your question? Yes. Okay, so now we got Mr. Kira. What did I was?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. B237.
Okay.
Madam Speaker, I presume the honourable member is referring to two brothers, I think they're twins, bearing the same initials, that is ACP. I wish to refer him to my reply to parliamentary question B1039 of the sitting of 25th of November 2025, wherein I indicated that Mr. BR had on the 28th of March 2023 made a declaration to the Central CID as a precautionary measure against Mr. Arvin CP, just to distinguish them. He was the director of Areva Immobilier Limited, to the effect that he had signed a contract for the purchase of a villa from import of the Iréva Villas project for the amount of 8.2 million rupees and had paid the 5 million rupees. Later on, Mr. ACP requested him to pay an additional 2.2 million out of the remaining balance of 3.2 million. He refused to pay and he dropped the proposal to purchase the villa. I'm informed by the Commissioner of Police that police had started an inquiry into the case and have recorded statements from 6 persons. On the 13th of May 2025, upon completion of the inquiry, the Central CID forwarded a case file to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions for advice. Thereafter, the Director of Public Prosecutions requested for several clarifications which were attended by the police. On the 29th of December 2025, the DPP returned the case file to the police, requesting to inquire into the outcome of civil cases entered by Mr. BR against Mr. ACP and vice versa. The case was fixed for merits before the Supreme Court on the 10th of March 2026. On the 1st of April 2026, the Office of the DPP requested police to provide an update on the outcome of the civil cases entered by Mr. BR against Mr. ACP, who is the director of Areva Immobilier Limited, and vice versa before the Supreme Court. On the 3rd of April 2026, the Registrar of the Supreme Court informed the police that Mr. BR and Areva Immobilier Limited had on the 10th of March 2026 agreed before the Supreme Court that Areva Immobilier Limited would pay to Mr. BR the sum of 5.7 million rupees in full and final settlement before a notary public by the 30th of June of this year. Both parties jointly moved that the agreement be made a judgment of the court, and the motion was granted. Following these developments, the police will refer the case back to the Office of the DPP for advice. On the 25th of February 2025, police had received a second complaint in connection with the Iréva Villa project made by one Mr. VP, who had made a full payment for the purchase of one villa which had not yet been delivered. The police have initiated an investigation, and so far statements from 6 persons have been recorded. I'm informed, Madam Speaker, by the Financial Crimes Commission that in the light of several complaints made by victims against Venezis property owned by Mr. ACP and Areva Immobilier Limited owned by the other ACP, investigations for money laundering have been initiated against these two companies. The Financial Crimes Commission had in March 2025 and July 2025, following several complaints made by victims, initiated 2 investigations for money laundering with predicate offense of swindling occurring as from the year 2022 against Mr. AC, owner of Venezis property, and Mr. ACP, owner of Areva Immobilier Limited. 11 victims were interviewed by the Commission and 21 statements have been recorded. One person, namely Mr. AC, was arrested. allegedly defraud is about 50 million. All these for the transactions bearing the seals of public notaries, Mr. KR and Mr. DR, and these two public notaries were also interrogated, the last one being on the 2nd of April 2026. The Financial Crime Commission is awaiting information from financial institutions to proceed further.
Yes.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. L'honorable Premier ministre, sait-il qu'il y a des cas où les acquéreurs ont déboursé presque la totalité de la somme au promoteur, alors qu'il s'avère, après évaluation, que moins de 50% des travaux ont été complétés? Dans ce contexte, peut-il informer la Chambre où on en est avec les amendements à la loi pour protéger les acquéreurs, comme il l'avait lui-même promis dans sa réponse à ma question B1039 en novembre dernier?
Yes, we are following all this, Madam Speaker. We will do that. The amendments will be voted later because we have other priorities, but we'll be voting.
Thank you. Time is up. Time is up. Now I'm announcing.